So that looks fine. So what I'm going to do is finish uploading this, and 5 minutes remaining, and then I'm going to embed that into this Riz thread. And then as for what I'm recording now, I mean, I don't know what I'll do with that, but so I mean, maybe I'll upload that too. But this gets into this thing of like proliferating content, like recording lots of video or writing these really long bits of text, rolls of text or whatever, that are especially things that are just stream of consciousness. Here's what I'm thinking, or here's what I'm doing, or here are my conflicts. I mean, people can only take so much of that. And again, it's like I'm sitting here looking at this mountain of content to dig through, including Google+, Riz, and so on. And then I have these other things to deal with, these websites that have tight timelines, and I'm feeling confident that I can deal with them, but again, it's like task switching and putting my mind into focusing on one thing and then another, and then meanwhile trying to figure out how to get help with these things. So Jose is helping me some, and Alexander potentially is, but again, there's this whole question of like how to piece together assignments, how to delegate things, because it's like basically I have to pick out a task that I can explain and then ask someone else to do it, and that in and of itself can sometimes be just as difficult or as complex as just completing the task. I mean, at least the sort of discipline of trying to explain here's how you do it or here's what needs to be done to someone else it can motivate just getting it done. But meanwhile, there's the question of like, where are future gigs going to come from for me, for Jose? And there's this whole conversation of potentially performing the service of finding people who want to do work, finding people who want work done, and then performing a sort of intermediary role of connecting them up and informing them about here's the project or here's this person. And then in my mind, I want to combine that with this sort of process of educating or mentoring people or informing them about both on the client side and the worker side of like, here's where you can learn more about how to do this thing, or here's how you can get help getting better at what you're doing, or better explain what you need. I mean, these are all things I want to figure out how to do. And then ideally, there'd be a budget. There'd be an investor or some revenue, and then it would be possible to more easily pay people, do marketing, and provide people with equipment if needed. But then this gets into this whole thing of potentially charging tuition, like marketing this whole process as a learning opportunity that people paid some tuition for, and the idea is that they're connected up with work, and they learn some things, but with that there's this whole thing of like not wanting to like misrepresent, because it's like can I or people I'm working with figure out a way to guarantee people work or guarantee people will have a great learning experience? I don't know. But part of the answer to that is how much work participants put into it. Just like, I mean, in a lot of situations, it's like if a mentee or a student, a learner, an intern puts in a lot of work, asks the right questions, they can get something out of a situation, whether they're paying or getting paid or it's non-pay. They can figure things out or learn some things that they wouldn't otherwise learn. But then on the flip side, that turns into this question of like, how do you manage learners or participants who are asking lots of questions and trying to get the most out of a situation, and juggle that with actually getting specific tasks done. So, I mean, it's a whole bunch of questions to consider. And I don't know, all this is kind of abstract, but it relates to specific examples I can sort of get into. But I'm going to end this video here and link to this video I just uploaded, and I may upload this video, which is already really long. That's the thing, there's 8 minutes, and so as soon as I start uploading this, I can start recording another video or typing text or going and working on this project. But it's all just experimental. And then there's a question of what video to send to who, and whether to go through and, like, with the video I just uploaded, and I'm gonna link to, I recorded that and it was actually twice the length or something, and I edited it, trimmed it to the second half of the clip, because as often the case, I take a while to kind of get to the important points, and then by clipping those out and taking the time to do that, taking the time to listen to the clip, select out a select, export it, upload it, I mean, that all takes more time, but it saves time on the part of whoever might be watching the videos. So but it's like at this point I'm still in this process of trying to make something that might be halfway interesting, that can at least get feedback from people, like, oh, that's interesting, or that's boring, or try this or try this. So I'm going to end this clip here.